What's up guys, Stranger1 here and welcome back to another Division 2 video. It's been a long time since I made a Division video, but I'm glad to be back in the game. Took a little break halfway through Season 1 and we're ready to get back into the gist of things. And that came with great news that Operation Iron Horse, the new raid coming to Division 2, will be dropping on June 30th. I didn't have a build made for the raid. I haven't done the first raid yet. I plan on doing both. For that, I needed a raid build. So what I did is I went out, I wrote down my trusty little notebook over here, the build I wanted to make. I went and I made it. It is almost exactly how I wanted it, with a few tweaks here and there. With all that being said, let's go take a look at this build that honestly might be one of the best builds I've ever used. It's one I see all the time, so it's nothing special, but obviously my stats might be a little different than other people's, so that's why I just thought I'd record this and show it to you guys. So obviously we start off with our exotic weapon. It's the Bullet King. I don't have the best roll on here. I don't think I can re-roll. I don't know, it's been a while since I've really played, so like the exotic re-roll option, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I can go to the recal station, or not the recal, the crafting station, and build more of these. But I'm pretty complacent with what I have right here. So I'm sitting at 11% with 8% damage out of cover and 9% critical hit damage. Not a bad roll. Next, I do know that this gun was nerfed in TU10. I do know that. But it still hits like a truck. I've ran hundreds and hundreds of heroics. I've attempted one legendary. So this thing does hit still. Doesn't hit as hard as it used to, that I know of, because I used this back in Season 1. But it 100% does still hit hard. So I've got a pretty decent roll here. 426k damage, 12% rifle damage, 10% critical hit damage, and 7% damage to out of cover. I also decided to roll Boomerang on here instead of Lucky Shot. I know Lucky Shot is a much preferred option. I do have an M1A in here as Boomerang. I've got to clear this out. You can tell I was farming. Okay, well it's in my stash. So I have an M1A with Lucky Shot on there. But I do believe that Boomerang is the better option. Yes, you're going to have to reload more, but with this current build, you're going to be getting critical hits like crazy, and so you're going to be getting that 40% increased damage bullet 10 times out, or I'd say 8 times out of 10. So you're going to be doing a lot of damage a lot of the times. Alright, now for the exotic piece of armor, we have Coyote's Mask, a very big favorite. I actually didn't get this in the season pass, and if you follow me on Twitter, you'd seen that I posted a tweet of me getting this mask on literally my first run of Jefferson Trade Plaza since I came back to the game. And since then, if you also still follow me on Twitter, I've showed a post where I was getting Coyote's Mask about every single run of Jefferson Trade in a group of 3 in Heroic. So if you want to grind out exotic, specifically Coyote's Mask, run Jefferson Trade on Heroic. It will drop for you. The roll I currently have on it is obviously the 15% weapon damage, 4.4% critical hit chance, 11.6 critical hit damage, and 4.7 critical hit chance mod that I'm running on it. The mod can 100% be higher. I do plan to grind out a max roll for the mod, so I can at least get that, and then I do want to run more Jefferson Trade to at least get one more max roll stat, preferably critical hit damage, since that's the part I'm actually lacking in this build. Alright, we're going to move on to the gloves now, where I'm running Contractors. I know this did get nerfed. Same with my knee pads, which is Fox's Prayers. I know they both got nerfed. But they're still very viable for the raid. Obviously the Petrov gives you the plus 10% LMG damage, which is for the Bullet King. You obviously get the plus 8% damage to armor bonus with Contractors, and I re-rolled it to give me 5.5% critical hit chance. I do plan on making that max 6%. So you might hear the rain in the background. It's pretty loud right now. Next, obviously I showed you my Fox's Prayers. It gives me that plus 10% rifle damage for the M1A. I re-rolled it to have max weapon damage, so that's perfect for me. I obviously have the 8% damage to target out of cover, which does stack very well with these two. So it gives me about 16 total, it looks like. 16 to 15. And I also have 9.5% critical hit damage. If I already had the 15% weapon damage, I 100% would have rolled this to damage, because I do think I did need to damage more for critical hits, but weapon damage was lacking as well in this build, so I decided to take the hit on weapon damage since I have max of that. Next we have the holster, which rolled pretty well in my defense. I think I'm pretty happy with it, and it is the first piece of Providence defense that I have. So I have 9.5% weapon damage, 6% which is the max for critical hit chance, and 11% for critical hit damage. Now I'm going to go into the two pieces that give me my perks. First is my Providence chest piece with 10.4% weapon damage, 10.2% critical hit chance, 4.4% critical hit chance. I meant damage for critical hit, also in the 10.2. And then I decided to put a 10.3% critical hit damage mod on it, because like I said, I needed more critical hit damage as I was lacking in that category. I decided though to re-roll Unbreakable on here, because I really just wanted a Providence with all reds with Unbreakable on it, and I'd go from there. I got the all reds at a pretty decent stat roll, so I decided to put Unbreakable on it instead of doing the opposite. For the backpack, it is my third and final piece for that plus 15% critical hit damage. I got it to roll 10.1% weapon damage, 11.4% critical hit damage, which is actually a pretty nice roll I got in there, as along with the 4.3% critical hit chance and 4.4% critical hit chance mod. And I decided to recal Vigilance onto here to help with the build. So next I will go over my skills really quick. I am running obviously the Revive Hive. It's basically essential in raids, especially for a DPS, because your skills aren't fully the focus of the build. Your weapon damage and crit hit damage and chance are. So I'm just running stim efficiency, stim charges, and duration on here. Not the best, but you could choose better. I also have the Fixer drone, just so I can keep my armor up, and that way it's some kind of useful skill I could use. I could use a heal and Seeker Mine, because I am using Specialist. Or you could run Decoy to help keep people off your back. All of them are very viable options. And then, yeah, like I said, I'm running Specialist. I can show you the specs for Specialist right now. I don't know if you can tell from the top right, I'm also streaming right now. So, I'm doing this mid-stream because I want to get this before the server maintenance starts. So, I'm running with this. I had some machine gun on here because I was running with Lady Liberty, but Onslaught obviously is at tier 3. Rifle damage is at tier 3 as well. I am running obviously the Seeker Mine as if it is a possibility to use instead of the drone, but the drone I feel like is more versatile, but I will switch between the two if I need to. I have Crunch Time, which is perfect because it allows me to get my drone back faster, which means it allows me to keep on healing myself or my teammates if needed. I love this because Bullet King goes through so much, so if you do that cover to cover, you can get that ammo back pretty, not that fast, but you can get it back pretty recently. This is very good because if you have someone running with any kind of build or any kind of ability that does status effect, it helps a lot with bonus damage. So also you have flying grenades, so that works very well with those. And then you have all the other perks that come with Survivalist. I will quickly go ahead and demonstrate the amount of damage you can do with this build, and then I will call the video. So really quickly, if I switch this to Elite, you can see just how quickly you can melt, at least with with Bullet King. As long as you're hitting the target like I am. Notice how all the numbers are basically coming up as orange. You're doing 2.1 million. Obviously it's not the best, but it's definitely there in terms of a good stat roll. We're hitting like almost 2.5 mil now, and then I'll show you guys the end stats here. So weapon damage is up at 77.6k damage. Critical hit chance is sitting right below 50%. What I really wanted it to be at was, let me pull out my pages of my notebook here. I want it to be at 52%, but 50% is close enough, and I feel pretty happy with that considering how I kind of focus more into my critical hit damage, because like I said, I'm lacking in that, and I'm sitting here at 113.8. I wanted to be at 120 plus. Like I said, I can hopefully get a better roll coyotes to help with that, so that I could hopefully, maybe, just maybe, hit 116 or 117. I do want to get better mods, so I can possibly hit 120 if I get a better coyotes and get the better mods that I can put on them. Headshot damage is sitting at 80% thanks to Province Defense and the stats I have on it. And I think my weapon damage is at 70%. I wanted that at 74%. But that's fine. This is actually pretty okay considering I was stacking more into critical hit damage, critical hit chance. Also, on a side note, I wanted my headshot damage to be 85%. So this is actually very good for my liking. And then finally, where's my rifle stats? It's been a while since I looked through these. Oh, here it is. So this is the part I actually lacked a lot in. I don't know why I was lacking so much, but I'm sitting at 25% rifle damage. I wanted that at 40. I'm still going to try to figure out what I did wrong, but my LMG damage is doing a lot better. So I will try to figure this out in the meantime. But overall, this is what I'm going to be going into Operation Iron Horse with. I will be streaming that next Tuesday when the new raid comes out. So keep an eye out, guys. Appreciate you all coming out here and supporting my videos. And take care out there, agents.